technologist. He's a clinical researcher as well. And so he presents his research all over the world. So he was in San Francisco presenting at one of his conferences, and he came down to Philadelphia to see me, right? And I was so embarrassed of my inability to produce a paper or whatever I was trying to do at that time, that I decided to take him to the lab at 8 in the morning. Obviously, there's nobody in the lab at 8 in the morning. So we go into the lab, and there's just one person in the lab, and guess who it is? It's him. Right? So he just, he's in his cube, and he just rises, and he's like, "Oh, Pramod." And I'm like, my God. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of things to tell my father. But the only thing he said, really, that I remember, is he told my father that we will make your son a scholar. You see, I don't share a very traditional relationship with my father. He gets on my nerves. And I'm sure I get on his nerves too. And we both love each other. But that statement of yours really reassured him that his son is going to be okay. And he got off my back, which is fantastic. And thus far, he has never, ever asked me anything. So thank you for that. More importantly, thank you for, you could have said anything to my father, but you had that understanding of the right thing to tell a parent. And thank you for that. Thank you for all the travels. Because of traveling with you for all the conferences and IEEE work, I just fly first class these days because of my miles. But more importantly, it was only during those travels with you and during the orchestra concerts and your concerts and the opera concerts that I realized that there's so much talent out there. There's so much out there, and there's such limited time. And so it has really helped me prioritize my life, and for that, I really thank you. Thank you for all the emails and phone calls past midnight. When I was in my 11th grade, I had a private tutor, and he would come to my house, and he would teach me mathematics or something related to math. And he would come the next day, and he would realize that I didn't finish the assignment that he gave me, and he'd get disappointed. He'd be like, "Pramod, you never go to bed till you finish your mathematics assignment." I was like, who does that? Who doesn't go to sleep? I mean, what kind of insanity is that? Till I met Moshe. and what I realized is this man doesn't go to sleep till he gets the work done. And he made sure that I didn't go to sleep and I didn't get my work done. Now at that time I thought this was really not what I wanted to do in life. But looking back, now I realize that it is purely the joy and the passion of doing what you really believe in that drove him. And somehow, I don't know how, but I find myself doing that. I don't go to sleep now until I get my work done. And I'm the happiest so far I've ever been in my life. So it's just been a remarkable inheritance that I have gotten from you. So thank you for that. Thank you also for explaining the meaning of commitment. And I can give you stories about how Moshe is committed, but there's a couple of things that I realized about him. His commitment to music. I didn't think I knew. I thought I knew Moshe till a week before you bought that house in New Jersey, and you started thinking about where are you going to sing. And I was like, oh Moshe, don't worry about that. Get the house, make sure the house is close to a train station so that you don't have to commute a lot. And he's like, Pramod, you don't understand me. You don't get me at all. Music makes me happy. And that's when I realized that it's not just the commitment that he has to the pursuit of music, but it's also the self-awareness that he has. That kind of self-awareness really makes me wonder whether we really know this man here. All these years that we have been with him, we have sat down with him. I wonder if there are so many other facets of his personality that we just don't understand yet. I hope I get to understand some of those. Most importantly, thank you for your immense bravado. When I first met Moshe was actually, you've always been a star at Drexel for sure, But at that point, Moshe had finally started transitioning into obviously an established researcher, an established professor, but also this leader at the IEEE and other places, and he had started gaining that international reputation. And throughout that time, I realized that Moshe would make me read some of his emails to just make sure there's no grammatical errors or typographical errors. And I'm sure he did that with you guys as well. But every time I would read those emails, what I realized is this man doesn't at all hesitate in doing what he thinks is the right thing to do. From being a ruthless pragmatic to being the kindest idealist that I have met in my life so far, I have never seen someone with so much diversity in his own personality. I've never seen such an agile kind of response time that he has. And what that ultimately has allowed me to do is develop a spine. When I was in India, I was very shielded. My parents, and most of our parents actually try to shield us, but I was definitely super shielded from all the craziness that goes on in life. So what I needed was someone who would give me the exact opposite, while giving me the stability and just the belief that I should follow my moral compass and my intellect, and he's going to be there. And you've always been there, not just for me, but for everybody else. And for that, I really, really thank you. Thank you, Moshe.